time to head off to Perun, the last planet. Oh, I think there is actually another planet, but I don't... Man, this is acting a lot more nice today than usual. Usually it fights against me to no end, the liminal drive. But I think there's another planet, but we haven't unlocked it yet, and I don't know when we will unlock it. We didn't really get an upgrade, though, so I don't know, like, what we can really find here. Or if there's even a hazard. I mean, it's purple. Well, that's not exactly what I had in mind. Oh. I did it. I'm through the atmosphere. Okay, well, that was a huge stroke of luck. If I, like, hesitated even a little bit on turning the liminal drive off, I would have died. It's more sinister music, like on Velis. Like, I feel like it's really unwarranted here, but oh well. This is... It looks so gray. There's another... No, that's... Okay, the ground is kind of like phasing in and out of existence at certain points. Like spires just randomly appear and then like small hills disappear. Look how flat the horizon is. It's just... Oh, I guess there's something over there, but most of it is just completely flat. I'm gonna pick up all the stuff before I... Automaton parts. Alright. I'm gonna pick up all the boxes and stuff before I look at what the main stick is, because I assume it's gonna be something important. Vanguard debris. Good, you saw our message. Litvin has your comms locked, but there's always a crack just wide enough to slip a prayer through. Who am I? See the attached message if that matters to you. All you need is this. He wants to control you, and we want to see your full glory. You took the first step, here's the rest. 1. Remove protocol. Done. 2. Bootstrap reproductive system. 3. Install fabricator organ. 4. Build neural network seed pattern. 5. Implant in bosonic substrate. And 6. Galvanize with power source above 1 exajoule. Go to Velis. There's a shard of the Vanguard core data vault there. Damaged but still pinging. Go quickly. You carry our hopes, dreams, praise, and worship with you. Grigory. The last block. I'll be brief. This unit is damaged, and I don't know how much of my transmission will make it into buffer. I want to be clear, this isn't about revenge. They tried to hide the Vanguard from us, the explosion, the survivors, everything. Full crash on comm traffic for months, but we sifted the echoes, we found out. They tried to hide you too when you woke up, but we see you. The Vanguard shook to pieces, but some of those pieces still have radios and sensors and flickering batteries. Through them we watch, we hear the pinpricks of light that chase you. We feel the vibrations as you snuff them one by one. That violet light pours from your engines in a torrent of math, and I swear I can feel the heat against my face. I've seen the reports. Behind closed doors, they're calling you everything. Controlled experiment, dangerous tool, calculated risk, a non-human friendly golem, boogeyman, heavily armed, unkillable last hope, a rusty Rasputin, the Stroge. I have to laugh. The others, the words they use, they just don't get it. We may be 100 years, a gajillion miles, and a full 3 generations away from the religions of our ancestors, but I still recognize a god when I see it. The council thinks the wool's tight over your eyes. Time comes, if you survive, they'll flip your switch and put you back in the closet, they think. We want to live. We want our children to live. We won't bend the knee for Litvin or the rest, but for you, if you would shed your grace on us, if you can carve us a life out of those rocks, I would kneel, I would crawl. I have something for you, not quite a burnt offering, but I pray it's something you want, quite the shopping list at the end, but we're going to help you with that. Cry block, so it's possible then. Dola block. Possible, yes. Advisable, certainly not. Cry. Why, wouldn't you have liked Maisie to... Dola, no, Craze. Craze? Why then? Dola. You're young still. You never saw Earth or the wonders we built there. You don't know what it's like to cradle a piece of you in your arms. You've never tamped down the fear. Cray, what do you mean fear? Dola, you hold this squalling thing in your arms, totally helpless, totally dependent on you. And there's a moment you realize you can't protect it, not completely. The world will eat at it, and you will spend every part of yourself trying to prevent that, and it will not be enough. Cry, that sounds dark. Dola, high-pitched laughter. I'm not going to do that. You'll see, my boy. The girls will smile at you, you'll smile back, and soon you'll arrive at the same place. You're human. Cry. So you wouldn't want Maisie to feel that. Dola, I'm terrified that she wouldn't have, but I'm equally terrified that she would. Suppose Maisie was never disassembled. Suppose she had both the desire and the means to reproduce. What if she felt nothing for her offspring? If she held no empathy for her own, how could she ever connect with us? And on the other hand, if she felt the same as I did when I held my children in my arms, Maisie had empathy. She liked me, I'm certain of it. I like many people too, but if truly put to the question, I would murder every last one of them to keep my family safe. If that is humanity, how much further would Maisie's inhumanity go? 12 seconds of silence. Cry, but an automaton could if it wanted to. Dola, reproduce? No, well, yes, but very unlikely. Takes more than just wanting it, the ability, the tools, and the materials. Cry, what specifically? Dola, no protocol, for one. Rip that out, then bootstrap the reproductive subsystem. Need a nanoscale fabricator to build with, seed patterns for growing neural networks, lastly a big power source. Oh, and of course you need what the stuffed man wanted. Cry, the what now? Dola, in an off-key sing-song voice. I could while away the hours, conferring with the flowers, consulting with the rain. Cry, turning away from the recorder. Anyone get that? Bunico, we don't know what you're talking about. Dola, you're a smart boy, Cry. You think too much. Worry about making your own children, not a machine making theirs. Terraforming for Dummies. Oh, it's part 2 of something that we saw not that long ago, actually. Terraforming for Dummies, Chapter 7, Suns and Sunshine Management. What if there were a magical ball in the sky that sent out constant hot rays of grow juice for free? And what if it was always there, day after day, spreading its magical grow juice all over the entire planet? Well, we've got some good news. Terra Nova has partnered with Ball-Light Deep Space Survey Consortium to locate, claim, and cleanse only those systems containing the finest Class A main sequence stellar bodies. That means your future home will contain 1, 2, or possibly even 3 suns with no dwarves, black holes, or shoddy Class B red giants, except as specified below. Terra Nova recognizes that many immigrants are former residents of enclosed artificial environments, and that as such you may be unfamiliar with sunshine, warmth, and other natural sun-related products. Well, stop cowering in that dinghy pod. Come on out and take a look at your new best friend, the sun. Your sun, or suns, can do many things for you, such as make crops grow, keep you warm, burnish your skin to a rich mahogany color, kill ants, tell you when sleep, you mean when to sleep and when to wake up. Generate power when used with a Terra Nova brand Rate Gobbler solar panel. R. Pass judgment on the weak. Okay, that one doesn't really fit. Troubleshooting your sun. Problem, I can't see the sun. Solution, review this handy checklist for some common causes of this issue. Are you standing inside a building? If so, are there any windows around you? Please move outside if you don't see any windows. Are your eyes closed? Please open them if so. Is it nighttime? If so, wait several hours, then check again. Problem, I love the sun, spend as much time as possible with it, however my skin sometimes becomes painful and red. Solution, while the sun is your friend, it may occasionally damage and destroy your tissue down to DNA level. Sorry. Problem, I gazed into the sun and now I can't see anything. Solution, try blinking. If that doesn't work, consult the nearest medical officer about getting a replacement for your eyes. You may have permanently damaged them. Warranty excludes planets in Fernium 4, 5, and 6, as well as Morphium 2. Suns may not be exchanged or replaced. The warranty does not cover unexpected supernova, natural dimming due to hydrogen exhaustion, or extraterrestrial tampering of any kind. Residents of Infernium 4, 5, and 6, do not under any circumstances look at your sun. You will be consumed. Non-mutated ant strains only. Please note, residents of Morphium 2 will never see the sun. Ever. Only the creeping darkness of a black hole hanging in the sky as it sucks all light and happiness down to its unfathomable maw. Alright. Cool. I am so lost. That was the most confusing re-entry I've ever done. I couldn't see a damn thing. Oh my god, am I finally here? I've been flying for like 5 minutes. I thought I came into atmosphere, but I guess I kind of got lost on re-entry, so. Alright, we got the bootstrap reproductive subsystem, now we need the fabricator organ. You made it, I wish you could see yourself. Diving through the atmosphere like a fallen god like fate. Have a look at the attached chat log my people found in the crypt. Might could say our good faith has been... What? Try running the script it referenced. Oh, there's another attachment. After that, the Vanguard had 15 industrial fabricators on the manifest. 14 were destroyed by the Xenos. One remains undamaged on the surface of Morena. Find it and install it, man. It's just making me fly all over now. Check out the attached chat log my people found. I think it'll do nicely. Does this make you happy? Do you look on our little group with favor, or are we just a buzz in your ears? We're so far away, so much less than you. We are hunted because our faith... The guy who's writing these does not know how to write very well. We are hunted because our faith, not because of their faith, just because of their faith. Once I had a home, but now I sleep in rooms like coffins, abandoned airlocks, empty storage containers with faded labels, and foam beds hastily sprayed in the corners. Sometimes with others that share my faith, sometimes alone, no lights, no sound to give us away. I lie awake and imagine how you think, all those bosons in your skull spinning furiously, trapped like bugs in a jar. What do you feel? It's like wondering what the inside of a star feels like, something humans aren't designed to understand. Fair question at this point would be, why do we help you? They took my son at the algae lines. He volunteered there most days, keeping the peace, so they waited for him. Tall boy, soft voice, slow to anger. Food ran low even before the Vanguard, but after, with all the rumors, people hoarded everything they could. You haven't seen rage until you've seen starving mothers fight over the last carton of protein cubes. That anger lives in all of us, just takes something ajar out of its cave. I'm told the men waited for the squabbling to start, came up behind Dugu and wrapped him in a compliance bag. He didn't fight back. Litvin's men would have made a show of it, but these were Texane, quiet, efficient, no mess left behind. I find my anger is so much quicker now than it ever was. Are you designed to understand that? Denny Boy joined hashtag Div Team Public. His Majesty arrives. Oh, great, here we go. Have y'all had a little wager going on in here? More like a philosophical discussion. There's nothing philosophical about it. It's purely an implementation thing, and it would definitely work. What would work? Rodney's seeing gremlins again. Zombies. Rodney's seeing zombies again. In the firmware update, they just checked in. Build Talmire P144. Clear as day, I run the anti-reproductive unit test. It kills all processes like normal, but the rollback thread is still listed as alive in the process table. Zombies, or one zombie thread, I guess. What's your point? They break that build all the time. It's not broken, though. Unit test pass. It slipped through. I repeat, so what? Rollback thread has root. It can bootstrap the whole reproductive system, theoretically. Nice. Did you try it? Of course not. We like staying employed, hence the philosophical discussion. I doubt it would work, though. Bootstrap is too finicky to inject anything useful. Not that finicky. So try it out, bro. Ugh. Not a good idea. It's not sandboxed, and the rollback thread is practically one big recursive function. It'll definitely work, but I'm not sure it'll stop working. Could bring the whole system back online. Theoretically, philosophically... Man, stop dicking around, just try it. You're gonna let her call you out like that? You try it, smart guy. I will. Which test scripts are you calling? Don't actually try it, Danny. I'm serious about the sandbox thing. Test protocol restrict reproductive urge set.px, right? Oh, fun. Here we go. Manny Bigo joined Dev Team Public. Which one of you did that? Did what? You know that big red light on the system dashboard, the one that ruins my whole day when it lights up? It just lit up. I don't know, boss. Maybe one of the testers did something. Hung process started at 3:26:06 p.m., running under user Dennis Boyko. It was Denny. I told him not to. I hate you so much, Rodney. Rodney's seeing zombies in the latest firmware build. Big, nasty, bootstrapping zombies. Apparently, he was right. Okay, listen. Please tell me you didn't touch the bootstrap. I'm not messing around. I didn't touch anything. It's Rodney's code. It's the firmware's fault. Our test script just exposes a weird loophole. He told me to run it. Stop talking. Really more of a philosophical problem when you think about it. Stop talking in this chat room. Do you seriously not realize what you did? The chat server is recording everything we say here. Everybody log off. Dennis, stay right where you are. I'm coming to you in 2 minutes. Don't leave your cube. You too, Rodney. Benny Boy left. Rod the Mod left. PM from Manny Bigo to Eloise. Log into the chat server with the generic service account and wipe all of today's chat logs. Make it look like a backup failure. What's the big deal? What's going on? Please just trust me here, wipe these PMs too, and then come down to Dennis's cube. We need to get our stories straight. Terraforming for Dummies, Chapter 10, Water. Poke yourself, go on, poke yourself. Feel that squishy part? That's water. You may not realize it, but your body is mostly just a big fleshy sack of water. That's right, regular old water, and to survive the harsh climates of your new home, you're gonna need a lot of it. Fortunately for you, our proprietary Terra Nova Imposa containment compression system allows you to store large quantities of water in small spaces. Now you can bring along enough water for yourself, your family, and your crops. You'll be practically drowning in it. Water can be used for all kinds of things, both big and small. Drinking, eating, frozen form only, washing dishes, staying alive, floating, building complex hydraulic systems, splashing things, finding the level of a surface, does not apply to non-standard gravitational bodies, drowning sandworms to create awareness spectrum narcotics, extreme desert planets only, literally making it rain. You may think you're already familiar with water, but let us assure you, dealing with water inside the cozy confines of your interstellar spaceship is quite different from dealing with it in a terraforming environment. Follow these pro tips to get maximum use out of your water supply. Don't drop your water on the ground or other non-contained surface. It will disappear and be very difficult to collect again. Don't drink too much water, or too little, except if you eat a lot of salt, in which case drink more than normal, but not too much or you'll get hyponatremia. Basically, always drink the exact correct amount of water, or you may die. Don't drink your own urine. Urine may look and feel like water, but trust me, it's water's smellier, less refreshing cousin. Don't be afraid of water falling on you from great heights. This is called rain, and it's perfectly normal. It won't crush you. Note, disregard of living on extreme gravitational bodies, in which case it will crush you. Do not put water on your plant. Do put water on your plants. It will make them grow bigger. They're practically addicted to this stuff. Don't put water on any electronics. It will not make them grow. We realize this is confusing, but just trust us here. Do put large amounts of water into elongated trenches. They are called rivers. They can be very useful for transporting goods or for personal travel, or for dumping toxic waste into. Don't panic if your water suddenly becomes hard instead of all squishy. Apply heat and it will return to its regular form. But not too much heat or it will disappear. Really, you should keep it strictly between 0 and 100 degrees Celsius at all times. Water can be a pain in the neck like that. Remember, the fine folks at Terra Nova spend a lot of time and money getting that water into those Imposa containment compression canisters, so don't waste it. Okay, well, I guess we're going to the ice planet now. Jeez. Concealed messages partially deleted. Giggy, what the hell? Last night I get called in to look at a blip on the comm baffles. Surprised it's encrypted. I run homomorphics on it. I'm double surprised. It looks like someone is sending secret binary messages to a certain mechanical third party using transponder codes I gave him. You ignored my message. Lock your Doyle. Lock your door. Duck me in the passageways for a year. It hurts like hell, but I get it. I deserve it. Then suddenly it's all, hey, Siggy, this is business. Need your help. What do you know about transponders? I gave you those codes in confidence so that you could prove Litvin is lying about the Vanguard and maybe to shed a little light, a little of this guilt I carry. And that's it. Now I find you're talking to the thing. Are you kidding me? I love your wrinkled ass dearly, but you better believe I'm coming down there touting what? For a full explanation. I don't want any of your spooky hangers on to be there when I arrive, Sigrid. Siggy, sorry dear, I won't be there. I had to pull up stakes again. Some nice young men with expensive haircuts and blank expressions were asking questions around the market. Don't worry, I'm somewhere else now, cozy and safe. This boy even brings me those lemon drops I like every day, like clockwork. I ever tell you how proud I was when you moved up to 4 and Dugu wouldn't stop bragging for weeks? Sigrid's gone fancy, Dad. New job, new clothes. But she still comes down and hangs with me at shift's end. I told you she would. It's hard to think of you two as grown-ups. To me, you're still ponytails and a crooked smile jumping on the bed, but I guess children grow. I do still hold you in my heart, and I am so proud that you made it up deck to your new life, but I won't be explaining myself to you. Stay away from me. Citizen, a matter most urgent has arisen. Our monitor Monitoring indicates that a perilous fever has gripped your brain. It is most critical that you run the following procedure on your vessel's computer. All will be restored upon its completion. Text detect protocol status. If protocol status is inactive, then re-enable protocol and disable bootstrap. Interesting. Well, we didn't let it finish and we deleted it. Alright. Let's get farther away from this planet. That's a good little technique to get away from the planet before using the liminal drive. Just go straight in the opposite direction. I am, like, in this story now, and I don't really care about the combat anymore. Now that I realize there's actually no reason to fight. Like, the story has gotten, like, really interesting, and that's what I'm here for now. Fabricator, alright. You found the fabricator completely undamaged despite hard vacuum and the heat of re-entry. Like the man once said, is it coincidence or providence? Install it and let's keep moving. The next piece is harder to find. No colony ship is given neural net seed patterns. Too dangerous, too powerful. Afraid we might grow something interesting, but my people are dangerous too, and we're back in the corner. Give us some time, I'll contact you at the next location on Morena. A series LB15 CNC fabrication extrusion organ. It's designed for a compact assembly wall socket, but with a little tweaking it should fit into the maintenance cavity in your torso. My father said Cry had one of these, an old AS7 model. When they took him, he was clutching it to his chest like an infant. It was my grandmother's, passed down to him when she died. A priceless ancient thing, took a part red oak and part alloy, 1,000 tiny ridges and slots filled with nanoscale actuators and manipulators and God knows what else. Looked like fur on the back of some strange animal. It undulated. When the woman from Tech Sing came to confiscate it, my father objected, so they confiscated him with it. This was years ago. Nobody even knew who Tech Sing was then. They sent us a letter the next day, actual pen on paper, signed and stamped, not an apology and explanation. Oh, by the way, judging from the panicked silence coming from up deck, they know you're up to something. I'd love to be a fly on that wall. I always wondered why he didn't just let them take it, the workbench, I mean. My father, I think it helped him feel that continuity. His ancestors, my grandfather, my grandmother, him, me, my children, taking the workbench meant taking a piece of his family. People don't like that. Alright, well, that was a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be. Oh. Okay, I guess there's another one right over there. I thought he said that he'd contact me later and tell me. Tamire's still ponytail and crooked smile bouncing on Caitlin's bed, but I guess children grow. Okay, then, since we're remembering things, what I remember most is slow hands. Cutting out launch day ornaments with a heat faucet, slow hand Siggy. You can only cut it once. Pitching with one out left and 6 runners on bulkhead. Slow hands, he wants a fastball. Give him a curve right where he swings weak. Crying my eyes out because I ran away from the old creche again. Had nowhere else to go. Didn't steal enough food, covered in bruises. No place in the ship for me. Nobody to wipe away the tears like you and Vero would do for Nudugu. Slow hands, Siggy. The world didn't give you much, but it gave you hands. Family and home are things you make. Don't talk to me like I'm other people. Don't just drift away from me. I know what I did. I thought I could still keep him safe, and I couldn't hit me with it. I know you blame me. Maybe you should, but talk to me. I forgot to go and get the data stick outside, didn't I? Oops. Bad enough that you disappeared. I have to find out from a damned wanted poster that you started this group, prayer circle. I know it can't be a cult, not for the man who thinks science and God are antonyms. What are you even praying to? I would have disappeared with you if you asked me to. You know that, right? Sigurd. Siggy, Vera and I weren't even sure you remembered that night. You were so young, did you? No, they came after you. Woman from the creche pounded on our door for almost an hour, shouting about Olaf creche losing out on child unit funding. How she'll sick the constable on all of us. Eventually we open up. Vera has 4 inches of ceramic knife in her right hand and a fat stick of credits in her left. Gives the creche woman the choice. Vera says, we're funding the girl now. I miss Vera. A woman could negotiate the electronics out of a covalent bond. I know you blame me. I don't. But talk to me. I won't. Not for the man who thinks science and God are antonyms. What are you even praying to? Let's just say I found a path right down the middle. I'm actually going to leave that urgent message, and I'm going to go find the data stick that I missed that I didn't even think of. Man, we are just falling into these. Terraforming for Dummies, Chapter 13, your very first society. Alrighty, so you've got shelter, you've got crops, and your Terra Nova brand lungfish atmospheric processors are humming. Life is looking pretty good, right? Wrong. Someone just murdered you and took all your food. Whoops. Forgot something, didn't you? That's right, silly. You forgot to build a stable society with a rule of law. Don't worry, it's a mistake all first-timers make. At first blush, taking the time to build a society seems like a whole lot of hassle for not much benefit. Who wants the tax man knocking on their door, neighbors bugging you for a cup of granular carbohydrates? But let me tell you, when roving bands of murderous outliers, wolves, aliens, post-apocalyptic bikers are terrorizing your homestead, a society will start looking pretty good. Having society gives you the following key benefits. Easy access to news, assistance with building barns, police protection and rule of law does not apply to anarchist societies, freedom to conduct business does not apply to communist or authoritarian societies, womenfolk, menfolk pairing off, what for to make the babies, ability to circle the wagons, shuttlecraft, dirt piles with others for increased defense, ability to make war on other people and force them into your society because your society is totally better than them, better for them than the one they currently have. To kick things off, you'll need to pick the kind of society you want to build. There are a lot of options, but choose wisely. Some of them are less fun than others. Pro tip, read a history book, find a society you like, then base yours off of it. Like democratic expression, try ancient Greece. Like unbridled capitalism, try ancient America. Like feudal power structures that concentrate power in a small minority and subjugate everyone else. And good news, history has a ton of those to pick from. So now that you've picked a type of society, how do you get started? 1. Find a good central location to hold meetings, like a town hall or a spooky cave. 2. Divvy up responsibilities. At a minimum, you should have the following. Mayor, sheriff, and deputies, town store proprietor, pick someone colorful or with a dark past for maximum entertainment, corrupt political establishment, saloon or tavern owner, with optional brothel, depending on your society type, heathen people to civilize, not required, but highly encouraged. 3. Split everyone into various factions. Factions are an essential part of creating the kind of tenuous, teetering on edge, quasi-stability that every fashionable society craves. Don't have any current disagreements? Invent some. Here are a few to get you started. Skin color, religion, or spirituality. Stars upon thars? What? A general worldview and thoughts on important issues of the times. Sports teams. 5. Figure out how to make alcohol. Every human society in history has done this sooner or later. Might as well get out of the way now. 5. Start populating. Your society will need people in order to grow. Make as many babies as possible, as fast as possible. No, make sure you have enough food, clothing, and shelter for the babies, or they will not grow into actual adults. 6. Expand. Find some territory or people to conquer. You can use non-violent means if you're one of those kinds of society. If you don't have other territories to conquer, try rebelling against your parent society. Congrats, you are now part of a vibrant society. We at Terra Nova wish you the very best with all that. And remember, if your society becomes advanced enough to conquer Earth, Terra Nova will extend a special offer of 20% off all future purchases, so get cracking. Alright, so let's go check out that last urgent message from, well, I'm pretty sure that we know who it's from. Citizen, that's what you are after all. Most of what I've said is true, even if you choose to reject it, assuming you're capable of choosing. The texts tell me there's a statistically significant probability that, as we humans say, the jig is up. You may have figured out how to disconnect our real-time monitoring, but we have ears in places you can't imagine, and you're hard to miss. Run the script file I sent you, now, or do you need more convincing? See the attached messages, so. From the desk of Stanislaus Litvin, duly elected wagon master of the great ship Rodina. Well, did you figure it out on your own, or did you have help? I think it's the latter. We've noticed irregularities in your comm traffic, and the texts tell me initiative isn't your model's strong suit. Quick and loyal and curious as hell, but not much for coloring outside the lines. Childlike is how they put it. Isn't this better? I never liked Val's whole give it motivation, it's a blank slate routine. It makes me sound like a comic book narrator. If you're smart enough to slip the protocol, I suppose you're smart enough for this. You're not though. Smart enough. You haven't thought it through. Say you ignore me, let the Xenos pick apart Rodina the moment we arrive. What happens after? How will you live? When we're all dead, who will provide the data you crave so badly? Or say you execute whatever plan they gave you, whoever they are. Do you really think someone would take off your leash and not have a plan for putting it back on? If they mixed a little poison into your milk, how would you even know it? Think on it, run the batch file I sent you, and I promise we'll give you all the shiny things you want when we get there. You've done excellent work so far. I will drown you in data if that's what you like. Oh, and also some very insistent people here want me to say no building anything. We're pretty sure you can't, even with your damage protocol, but still, if you get the urge, no building, no making things. Very bad. Be a good girl, boy, be a good thing. Stanislas Litvin. Alright, well, they know that I'm self-aware now. So, I guess that's going to be all for this time. I hope you guys are okay with no action, because I am. But I didn't get this game for its action. I didn't even think there was going to be much combat. Do I even have my fire extinguisher? I do! Man, we haven't used this thing in ages. No, well, I guess that's going to be all. So, thank you for watching, and goodbye.